can imagine a 2-3-year-old hugging you, crying with you, and almost telling you that it's going to be okay. That's a great moment.
Well, my first year of motherhood was, I'm telling you, I thought that my son was heaven and earth. And so I dropped everything, all my schedules, all my programs.
Shocking. That's the word to describe it, because with motherhood, I don't think there is anything that prepares you for motherhood.
I remember then, I think I didn't have a job, and I got a job when my son was barely a month.
I felt like I was losing my mind. It was amazing and obsessive. Amazing because I could never imagine the love that I could give and feel. And obsessive because I was obsessing over the littlest things. I had sanitizers everywhere, burp cloths. It was really fun.
As a first-time mom, my biggest insecurity was my body.
So I had just given birth, CS, and then I wasn't lactating, right? And I remember the nurses kept on saying, put her to breast now, put her to breast.
I got married a size 10, and by the time I had my first child, I was a size 20.
The scars that I have to do with pregnancy, that stretch marks.
I didn't allow myself to take advantage of the village I had around me. I wanted to micromanage everything.
I was so afraid that my child would never gain weight. And now, I mean, he's a big, brawny 11-year-old.
Being a mom has changed my career path. I found that there was a gap in the children's apparel industry in Nigeria, and I decided to birth Tanko, which now provides basics for children, and that's my new career.
Before I became a mom, I was a pilot. I went back to flight school when my child was just 3 months old, and it was so tough, so difficult because I was flying, doing exams.
Becoming a mother did change my career path. Again, I was 23 when I had my first child, and I just couldn't do a lot of things 23-year-olds did at the time.
Me, my best moments as a mom is labor. I know this is weird.
My best moment was when they popped out.
I've not experienced a better feeling than seeing my child for the first time.
That was like the best moment. They either were shining their eyes or something, you know. That's the most amazing one.
We got that eye contact. It's a moment I'll never forget. And he just looked at me in his eyes like he was in my tummy for 9 months, and then he looked at me, he's like, oh, you're the one. And there was just that, I can't begin to describe how beautiful it was for those first moments to be able to see my baby looking at me.
Once I knock on the door and, someone says, who is at the door? And I say, mommy, my 2 girls, they literally run and they are screaming, welcome back, mommy! Like we do a happy dance. I'm always looking forward to that.
When I was breastfeeding her, and I would never forget, she just looked at me, because obviously she was a baby, and then her big eyeballs, because she just kept looking at me, and I was breastfeeding her, and then she kept staring at me, and then her hand, like her little fingers, just kept like grazing against like my chest. And I think in that moment, I literally started crying. I was like, and I called my mom. I'm like, oh, mommy, I'm a mom. And she's like, you've been a mom for like over a month. Like, why are you? And I'm like, it just hit me.
You watch a baby blab and blab and blab and coo and coo and coo, and all of a sudden they're saying, mommy, daddy, and you're having full-blown conversation.
The most frustrating moment as a mom was losing my child. You've been growing the child, can't wait for the child to come out, and then it's almost like it's your fault that whatever happened.
As a mother, you're thinking, okay, what's the best meal to give this child? And the fact that I'm eating and my child is not eating. And then you're seeing the child hungry and crying, and then you see your fufu and your soup. And then you have this guilty feeling like, Elsie, do you really want to eat this food when your child is not eating? Yeah, at some point, I remember one time I cried because I was frustrated so much that there's no solution at that point.
When I don't get my son to talk to me about things, because he's a teenager now, teenagers, as they grow old, they tend to drift away from you. So it's quite frustrating when I try to ask him some question, it just gives me one-word answers.
That feeling of, I am the one who's totally responsible for these kids, and if I don't protect them and keep them and hold them well, then I can't control what happens to them in the world.
When I'm trying to correct them and they're not taking to instructions or to corrections, that can be frustrating sometimes.
My mom used to always answer me. I would ask her questions and I would say, Mom, why this? And I was one of those why kids. And so she would always answer me with, because I said so. Or, just things that were just not an answer whatsoever. My middle child is just like the way I was, and he's why? And I caught myself recently, he was asking me a question about something in science, and I answered it for him, and then he was like, but why? And I'm like, because that's what it says in the book.
When I have my children, I will talk to them, they will listen, and yes, they are listening, but sometimes listening doesn't get the job done. So yeah, sometimes I spank my son, sometimes I also shout, and then, other times I try to explain to him.
When my kids ask for something, sometimes, I say no. I don't have any reason to say no, but I just say no because I want to say no.
No matter what happens with the course of pregnancy and childbirth, you'll be fine.
Mothering is an action, it's a verb, it's not just a term, and it's not based on the results, that is, whether your child is successful or not. It's basically all the steps, all the things you've done, sacrifices you've made to, in being a mom.
You're amazing, you're a superstar, but we keep doing our best each and every single day for our families.
You've made it this far, you've survived.
The tears, the pain, the bittersweet feeling, and then the joy afterwards when the child is out. But basically the moments that lead up to the child coming out, there are no words to actually express what a woman goes through when she has a child.
There's no textbook way of doing things. Every child is unique, every child is different.
Take a deep breath. It's okay. You're not going to get it all right. You're not going to be perfect, but you're going to be perfect for your kids.
My mom, because she did a fantastic job with us. So yeah, she's definitely an icon in my eyes.
Hands down, my mother. I know everyone will usually say, oh, their mother, but my own mother, she's different. She's different. She's a vibe. She's a whole vibe.
My mom is an iconic woman I look up to as a mom, because she's done everything for her kids. She's been in really compromising situations and stayed in compromising relationships.
My grandmother and my mom are the two iconic women I would want to, to emulate my life after.
My mom, everybody would say their mom first, but my mom. I feel like moms are just superheroes because they don't even let you know what they're going through, and they just make sure you're okay.
If I'm going to choose an iconic woman that I look up to, it would be unfair for me to choose anyone other than my mother-in-law, the Archbishop Margaret Benton Idahosa, because she's the one who carried my husband and who carried the one who gave me 3 boys. And I look at her and I really admire her courage.
My mom, because she raised 8 children.
We'll never know the sacrifices that they made to give us the life that we have. And I encourage all children to honor your mom, not just today, but every single day.
It comes once a year, but I actually think that mothers should be celebrated every day.
To every mother out there,
you're amazing, you're a superstar.
Your struggles, your sacrifices.
Thank you for your labor of love.
You're doing amazing.
You've made it this far, you've survived.
Even if no one tells you you're doing great, I'm proud of you, you are enough.
You still have your mom out there, love her dearly, keep in touch, call her often, find out how she's doing, because most times they miss us so much.
You guys are beautiful. Hang in there, encourage one another.
Please drink some wine, paint your nails.
Thank you for the sacrifices.
God will give you the grace, the wisdom, the strength, and the power to be an excellent role model for your children.
Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful and amazing mothers out there. You're the best.